Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to this report. It is the 25th of November. I'm Chris with Elevate Cafe. So let's take a look at what's going on in the markets. We're going to start with Bitcoin, with the price action in Bitcoin, and then we'll just touch a little bit on equities. It's a short week, Thanksgiving week here in the US. A little bit less volume across the markets, I guess. But Bitcoin has sold off to, I think, even below 80,000, if I'm not mistaken. I got two counts on it that I'm following. Talked about them last week. One of them is this one where we're thinking this move, it's a larger wave one, where we're basically looking at the wave A in progress, followed by a wave B and then another wave C for a larger wave two, which can probably stay above 65, 70,000. We'll see. This wave A under this scenario, it's not complete. Let me put this back here. And then this one, basically we're looking at 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, a wave 4 in progress, another drop for a wave 5, 3, 4, to kind of complete a more normal sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of a wave A. I did mention as we were kind of approaching these levels on Twitter, I said, Bitcoin, it's probably going to slow down and drop at the lower rate because already this wave 3 was kind of in an extreme positions. If I measure, 3 versus 1, you were already like 161.8 of this larger wave 1. So we can try to do a little bit of a math now for a wave 4, and I can do this right now. I can go wave 4 and see. Let's see how that looks. 4v3, which is kind of what we're looking for. So for the 4 versus 3, you're looking at about 38.2. So you really don't want prices to, that's where a way forward kind of stop at about 89. So let's call it 90,000, not higher than that. Anything higher than that, it starts to be a little bit too high for a fourth wave. And then we got to think of something else. But, definitely a good place. Now it's short. It might be wave A or 4, and you could do a drop in a wave B and then another C. So you can kind of, spend some time here before you drop again into this wave 5. That's what I'm watching. If this goes higher and it starts to go towards 96, then I don't think that wave is valid anymore, and it could be likely that you already have a low in place, or we gotta relook at the count. But I don't want to speculate. I'm going one count at a time, one step at a time. So if I'm wrong, or if the market does not stop here at about 38.2, which is the standard for a fourth wave, and it decides to continue to push higher, then we'll deal with that once that happens. I still don't think Bitcoin is actionable here. From the long side, there is still a lot of stuff here that needs to happen from an elevated perspective. If one wants to short Bitcoin for whatever reason, I would look to probably not let it pass again 96,000. Anything above that, I don't want to talk stops and entries and stuff like that here, but you kind of want to do it once it turns back down, and then maybe hunt a fifth wave. But hunting fifth waves, it's tricky. So anyway, we're not talking strategies in trading right now. I'm just kind of giving you my kind of my outlook here. So that's in this wave count. And then if I go to the other one, which is this guy, we're looking at the fourth wave. And I talked about this before, kind of hunting this fourth wave low as a support. And, you can see in here, that's where we kind of bounced from these levels. So if this was a fourth wave, some kind of a flat, and we're done, that means that we need to see further advancement, a strong move higher. I would look at the smaller time frame, look for the 20-day moving average, for the 50-day. There's still, those are quite high, and you need to be a lot more, like the market has to do a lot more convincing. Here is the 20-day. you need to do a lot more convincing for me to kind of start thinking that yes, you're about to go to new all-time highs, and I'm willing to wait for that. There is a risk that this again turns into maybe like a B wave, and you form kind of a head and shoulder, and you start to break down into the other wave, and you move to the other count in that wave too. So for right now, to kind of conclude, I do like the bounce in here. I'm going to definitely watch what's happening in 90, and the further up we go, the more confidence I get that, that this wave count, it's wrong, and we're going to move possibly to the other fourth wave. But, for right now, from a price action perspective, there's nothing really to do right here in terms of positioning. Okay, now this is Bitcoin. I want to quickly just touch a little bit on kind of what's going on in the equity markets. And these here, so we're looking at S&P. S&P sold off pretty well last week for the past couple of weeks. And, you had this kind of three-wave move down, and we had this kind of big day. I think it was last Thursday. Then we made a new low. We bounced back on a decent volume, but the last couple of days in here, we're climbing up on low volume. Now it could be because it's a holiday week and people are not here, whatever. So my trigger for longs, or for getting more excited about the long side, is first of all is this climb back above this moving average. First of all, I want to tell you this. I'm always looking at this low. Not that one. Can I move this? Okay, right there. Okay, I'm looking at that low, and we climb back above it pretty substantially. I'm looking above the moving averages, which we closed above. Now, it's important that we don't fail from here tomorrow or into the end of the week. If we continue to kind of gather strength here, I think it's going to be pretty powerful. And then if we can get back above these levels, I think, that's a signal that stronger new all-time highs are coming, and we're probably going to go towards like a 7,200 or something. So good price section in here. And you can see, especially in the Russell, it was a bit stronger. I don't know if I can trust this move just yet, but my opinion, it doesn't matter. What matters is what happened in the market. First of all, you've gone above this low, then you've also gone above some key moving averages. So these two are a positive signal for the market. Per se, one could initiate small positions in here as a try on the market for the long side. I would definitely get out on a move back below this yesterday's low, right about 66.75. I would be out of there with a very small position. And if this continues and breaks this high from here, and that's a full signal that the market should continue moving in the next higher wave, which I don't have the counts here, but we were looking at this move as a fourth wave. So which means that this would be some kind of a wave one of a larger fifth wave. So that's the idea in the S&P. Nasdaq has not done it yet. It's not yet above the 50 day. It's just at about a 20 day. So you can see there is a lot more. This is a bit more problematic in here because you're kind of coming against the trend line, kind of on low volume, but you're closing strongly at the highs. You have quite a bit of participation from the moving averages, not from the number of stocks above key moving averages. So you can see in the S&P, we were as low as about 47%, only above the 200. Now we're 56, or another 10% gainers on the stocks above the 200 day. We also bounced up on the stocks above the 50 day and above the 20 day. So you had quite a bit of decent breadth coming in here, pushing this market. So this makes me think, that maybe I should trust this move, and kind of what's happening with the negatives, that we have a lower volume, the fact that we're right at the moving averages, we're coming into the RSI after being sold below 40, we're coming into 50 and 60 RSI, which are levels where usually you short for a move back to the downside. So I'm a bit torn in here. So it's being a holiday week, at least for me, right? It's not a time to be aggressive or do anything silly. I'm just kind of watching price action, and sure, there's a lot of indicators that matter, but if you want to learn the market, study the price and how it behaves around certain levels and certain averages, and after it breaks lows, breaks highs, if it pulls back, or so, you just watch price. Price is the kind of the ultimate, I don't know, decider of kind of what's happening in the market, right? Everything else, it's just a variation of price, any other indicator. So, right now they took it and, they closed at the highs of those candles. So that's powerful. Let's see if there is enough juice in here to kind of get it back above those. Dow Jones closed above. This one has a weird formation in here. I don't even know what this could be. It's kind of weird. And then Russell, yes, strong move. Yesterday, I think we were upwards of 2%. If not more, and we're right at this high, so that's important. If we can get back above that high in the Russell, it's a bit closer than some of the others, right? So this index here is kind of the closest to that, call it a B wave swing high. If we can get back above that one without failing in an X wave, if we can get some power behind that move, I think this can go to new all-time highs. And then also you had a collapse in the VIX, which helps. So back above the 50-day moving averages, VIX is just at about 19, so it needs to get lower. Like I would not get too aggressive again until those B waves get taken out, and then VIX drops below 18 at least. And then you have the dollar index, which is kind of climbed above that 20-day moving average. Now that is support, so very interesting. I think there's going to be a little bit of fight, kind of back and forth in here. So again, some decent recovery out of the markets. From Bitcoin to equities. Some of the stocks, like AI stocks, have been hit so hard that they're barely able to recover. And you see, I mean, the market drops 5%. Some of those stocks drop like 40, 50%. Just a lot of speculative stuff, right? Dangerous stuff. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. I don't think I will have a video tomorrow. I'm heading out to a cabin. I will be, only having videos. Maybe on Saturday. We'll see how I am. If not, next week. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye. Have a happy Thanksgiving if you're celebrating. Otherwise, have a great week wherever you are. Bye bye.